chapter 10 verse 7 says this: in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of God should be finished. The mystery of God should be finished when the seventh angel begins to sound. The seventh angel begins to sound in 1844, and that's when the mystery of God begins to be finished. From 1844, when in the investigative judgment, the work of God begins to get finished. So the mystery of godliness cannot be finished without the Gentiles. That's the first point we've just developed. And also it can't be finished until 1844. The Gentiles are represented in Daniel 11 by Edom, Moab and Ammon. They become partakers of this mystery by the preaching of the gospel. Revelation 14, three angels' messages. They escape from the hand of the papacy to be gathered into the same body and be partakers of Christ. Edom, Moab and Ammon are fornicators. Genesis chapter 25, 29 to 30. And Jacob sod pottage, and Esau came from the field and was faint. And Esau said unto Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore his name was called Edom. So we know that Esau is Edom, which is Jacob's brother. Revelation 10:7. Esau or Edom is a fornicator. Hebrews chapter 12 verses 14 to 16. It says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. Esau is Edom, and Edom is a fornicator. Now there is a power that commits fornication with the kings of the earth. Revelation 14 verse 8 says, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Revelation 18:3 says the same. Revelation 17:2 says the same. Revelation 17:4 says the same. 14:8, 18:3, 17:2 and 17:4. I'll read the last one. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet colour, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. So if you're a fornicator, you're part of this power. Revelation 18:9, the kings of the earth committed fornication and lived deliciously with her. So in summary, Esau and is Edom, and he's a fornicator. The papacy, the beast, is a fornicator. Therefore Edom is Babylon. Edom is Babylon. Let's look at Genesis 19, 30 to 37. Genesis 19, 30 to 37. And Lot went out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain, and his two daughters with him, for he feared to dwell in Zoar. The firstborn said unto his younger, our father is old, and there is no man in the earth to come unto us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, and we may preserve seed of our father. The firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. The same is the father of the Moabites. The younger, she also bare a son, and the same is the father of the children of Ammon. So we've just read that Edom was a fornicator. Genesis chapter 19 verses 30 to 38. Genesis 19, 30 to 38. I'll try to slow down. Genesis 19, 30, 37. We've just found that Esau is Edom and he's a fornicator. We've also seen that Moab and Ammon are the product of fornication, because their mothers basically had incest with their father. So Edom, Moab and Ammon are all products of fornication. When you look back at the story of Lot, how did they commit fornication? They had to make their father drunk with wine. So there are two components of Babylon, wine and fornication. We just read that. So you see wine and fornication all connected with Edom, Moab and Ammon. So Edom, Moab and Ammon are all in spiritual Babylon. Not only that, but Edom, Moab and Ammon in the later generations persecute and mock God's people and are continually warring against them. They're a continual thorn in the side of Israel. Let's go to Zephaniah chapter 2, 8 and 10. Zephaniah chapter 2, 8 and 10. And the background of this story in Zephaniah 2 is actually, the setting of that is in our day. I have heard the reproach of Moab and the revilings of the children of Ammon, whereby they have reproached my people and magnified themselves against Israel's border. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, surely Moab shall be as Sodom, and the children of Ammon as Gomorrah, even the breeding of nettles and salt pits, and the perpetual desolation. The residue of my people shall spoil them. Remember, we saw that before. The residue of my people shall spoil them, and the remnant of my people shall possess them. This they shall have for their pride, because they have reproached and magnified themselves against the people of the Lord of hosts. In our day, the remnant or the residue of Israel, the seed of the woman, from Revelation, says they shall spoil them and they shall possess them. So we're going to possess Edom, Moab and Ammon. I'm going to explain, when we just tie this all together, how we go about possessing them. Amos chapter 9 verses 8 to 12. Amos chapter 9 verse 8 to 12. I'm just going to read a portion of that. It says, that they may possess, talking about God's people, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen which are called by my name. There's an important point here. God's people are going to possess the remnant of Edom which are called by my name. What does the Bible say? It says, come out of her, my people. So the verse here in Amos clearly says that the remnant of Edom, which are called by my name, is relating that same idea. That God's people are going to possess them and pull them out, because it says we, God's people, are going to possess these people, Edom, Moab and Ammon. Strange women, false churches. 1 Kings chapter 11, 1 to 2. 1 Kings 11, 1 to 2. That Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, the Ammonites, and the Edomites. He married all of these. And it says, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. So, in this setting here, Edom, Moab and Ammon are representing women who marry Solomon, who represents God's people. So there's a relationship between there. So we know that these represent strange women or fallen churches who worship other gods. We know that at the end of the world, Babylon comes in three parts. It says the city was divided into three. Revelation 16:13 says, I saw a dragon, a beast and a false prophet. Revelation 16:13 gives you those three entities. Revelation 16:9 says the great city was divided into three parts. How many parts escape in Daniel 11:41? 3 parts. Edom, Moab and Ammon. From whom they escape? They escape out of his hand, it says. They escape out of his hand, which is the hand of the king of the north or the papacy. So where did they escape to? Where did they escape to? Revelation 18:4. I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, or come out of Babylon, my people. Why did they escape from Babylon? It's to escape the wine of the wrath of God. Revelation 18:4. And it says, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Revelation, I'll skip that one. What is the wrath of God that's going to be poured out? So when it says they're going to escape from the wrath of God, what is the wrath of God that's going to be poured out? It's the 7 last plagues. Revelation 15:1, Revelation 16:1 talks about the pouring out of the vials which is filled with the wrath of God. So if they escape the 7 last plagues, that means that they're not going to receive the mark of the beast. Because in order to receive the 7 plagues, you must have had first received the mark of the beast. Revelation 14:9 and 10. Revelation 14:9-10, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God. So if you escape from that wrath, which is why they're escaping, because they're coming out of Babylon, they're escaping out of Babylon, it means they're not going to get the mark of the beast. Revelation 16:2, the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and saw grievous sores upon men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. So if you want to receive the 7 plagues, you're going to first have to get the mark of the beast. If you escape from the hand of the papacy, you're not going to receive the mark of the beast, and that's why they're escaping out, because they don't want to get the plagues. Sorry? You had the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet. Those 3 entities. The dragon represents spiritualism, the beast represents the papacy, and the false prophet represents Protestantism. No, what I'm saying is this, that there are 3 entities at the end of the world which form Babylon. This is part of Babylon, and you see 3 entities here. So you always see this number 3. Revelation, let me skip a bit. Where's the hand of those people? I'm going to skip a bit down to the bottom of this issue. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 19, verse 15 to 17. Genesis 19, 15 to 17. This is the story of Lot. There are 2 angels that take Lot, his wife, and his children out of Sodom. Okay? There are 2 angels that do that. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters which are here, lest thou should be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, on the man, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his daughters. What I've actually skipped is, when they escape out of the hand of the papacy, I skipped through some verses which show you that God's people are going to take their hands and grab hold of these people who come out. We did allude to that in some of the verses before, but there are a number of verses in Scripture that show you that God's people are going to grab by their hands those people who come out. But it's very neatly done in this little story. So let's look at this story. They're coming out of Sodom. Okay, there's a man, Genesis 19, 15 to 17. There's a woman and there's daughters. Okay? There are 2 angels. At the end of the world there are 2 angels. There's a 3rd angel, and the 3rd angel cannot do the work itself. It has a 4th angel to join it. And the 4th angel adds power to the 3rd angel's message. Revelation 18. Yes? There are 2 angels at the end of the world. There are 2 angels in the story of Genesis 19. And the angels, by the way, at the end of the world, who are these angels representing? They're representing God's people in union with the work of Jesus and the ministration of the angels. So these 2 angels, they do what? They grab a hold of the man. They hold the hand of the man they hold the hand of the woman and the hand of the daughters, and look what it does. It says, the Lord be merciful unto them, and they brought him forth and set him without the city. He said, come out of the city, outside of Babylon, and it came to pass, where did they go? Do you know the story? Yeah. It says, and it came to pass when they had brought them forth abroad, he said, escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in the plain, escape to the mountain. We already read what the glorious